My 27F boyfriend, 33M, proposed to me on New Year's Day and it's going to ruin our relationship. My 27F boyfriend, 33 meters, proposed to me on New Year's Day and it's going to ruin our relationship. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 4 years and he proposed to me on New Year's Day. After a really fun weekend together of celebrating the holiday. It was a spur of the moment, "I love you so much and want to do this right now" kind of proposal, and all night after he proposed, we were super giddy and excited. He mentioned he wanted to wait to tell people until I had a ring to show off, and said he wanted me to pick out my ring so he knew I could get exactly the one I wanted. What's been off is every time I've tried to bring up anything about the ring, he seems uncomfortable. Not something he expressed, just something I picked up on. I brought it up with him 3 days ago and expressed that I wanted to be able to start telling our family, friends even without a ring, because I couldn't wait to share our relationship's most precious moment with the people we love. He then told me he wasn't ready to tell people because the idea scares him. Not because I don't have a ring yet. He says the idea of marriage was terrifying and he needed a couple days to think about it. I felt like my world shattered. I got upset and expressed that if he felt this way, he shouldn't have proposed to begin with because he's clearly not ready for that step. I expressed that it was hurtful for him to put me through the joy of feeling engaged to him, only to rip it away a couple of days later. I'm still not sure where he stands on this. Every time I've tried to bring it up since, he'd shut down. I don't know how to feel. Am I being too harsh, critical of how he's acting? Or am I getting my answer of whether or not we should be together based on his actions since the proposal? He basically regretted it the morning after. What I'm getting out of this is that you are not engaged. I'm really sorry. Op. Seems like he got excited at the moment and blurted out the words. But he doesn't actually want to be engaged or married. But now he doesn't know how to tell you this. Which I get. I would not know either. So he is kinda half-stringing you along, half hoping the problem just magically goes away. So sadly, it's on you to sit him down and just ask openly, does he want to be engaged? Because if not, you are not going to keep him in this state of engagement against his will. And if yes, you need a specific time frame on the ring and the wedding preparations. And you are telling people ASAP. He has to be sincere with you and with himself. And if he tells you yet again he does not regret it, but refuses to start telling people ASAP, and balks at making a time frame for the ring, other stuff, then trust his actions, not words. It's a, yes, I regret it. And, emo. If 4 years in and all those pro-marriage talks in he is regretting it so fast and backing away, it is likely he won't marry you at all. If he shuts down, you need to keep pushing. If that is not possible, BC he shuts down so completely that you literally cannot discuss this, then you are not engaged. And he is not marrying you. So decide if you are okay with the relationship the way it is now. With no further commitment, BC that man will not marry you up. And no, to me you are not too harsh. If someone proposed to me and then with their behavior made it clear they don't actually want to be engaged and don't feel engaged to me, I would be heartbroken. I don't think he was malicious. But that doesn't change the fact that it was a thoughtless, painful thing to do, and he is not dealing with the aftermath well either. Since instead of just biting the bullet and telling you it was a mistake, he is just avoiding it like a child. Had you two ever talked about marriage and your future together before he proposed? Am I being too harsh, critical of how he's acting? No. It's completely unreasonable of him to propose to you and then back away like this. Or am I getting my answer of whether or not we should be together based on his actions since the proposal? He seems to be scared of commitment and lacking in judgment. He made a life-changing decision without really thinking it through and now wants to back out. Give him a week to make good on it. If he doesn't, it's probably best to walk away. It hurts, but I don't think you can really trust him if he's going to be like that. This is not looking good. Talk to him. Say that's his backpedaling attitude is hurting you and making you feel like you're forcing him to do something that he proposed. So either he put his big boy pants on and start doing some actual work. Ring shopping day. Announcement plans. Rough timeline for the wedding and stuff like that, or you need to get a step back and reevaluate your relationship. Because if this pattern will stick around, you will have an unreliable partner who will repeat it every time something big happens. Imagine if you are pregnant and he is not ready. Well, now you know where he stands. It's difficult, but you need to move on. It's been 4 years. Don't add another year. You're correct, this is going to ruin your relationship. Basically, he's walking back the proposal. I think it's fair to say you are no longer engaged. Well, now that you know he wasn't serious about it, it's time to end things. It sucks, but you can't stay with a man who pretended to commit to you lifelong, only to back out the next morning. He's not serious about you. Don't let him lie and backtrack and say it's about the ring. Don't let him convince you that he wants to marry you after all. The man you're meant to be with would never second-guess his proposal. Honestly, time to cut him loose. He's 33. You've been together 4 years. He proposed not you and then took it back? I'd break up with him and tell everyone why. You deserve someone who's excited to marry you. Male here that proposed without a ring. Your partner made a spontaneous decision and regrets it. The ring is literally that. A ring. There are plenty of placeholders he could utilize in the interim while getting your real one. And you should still be able to tell your loved ones of this opportunity. I told my family and friends, but I also snagged her a ring pop to show off, while I saved for a real engagement ring. Much better this way, than you waiting by the altar whole time for him to show up. A guy that asked me to marry him many years ago told me not to call him my fiancé ever. We called it off exactly a month later. He bought me the ring to keep me and was not really ready to move on. Oh, you are not wrong. In fact, you're being really nice about it. It's been a week. Either the two of you go shopping for rings tomorrow, or today if shops are open, or it's off. And honestly, I'd be so hurt by the take back that I'm not sure I could even continue dating him. There's a lot of good thoughtful advice already, but I also wonder, for imagination's sake, let's say you want to work it out and agree to go back to how things were before he proposed. Just a couple, not engaged, etc. What happens next? What if he proposes again in a year, for example? How will you feel? Will it be possible to have the same giddy happiness after this? Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it would be really hard to trust him with this in future. It might feel tainted. You two are not necessarily headed for a breakup, but it's certainly possible. I think you need to get unengaged. Tell him that he's made it very clear to you that his New Year's proposal was done on impulse and that he's now regretting it, and that you are not interested in the kind of engagement that involves you wondering if he meant anything he said to you and wondering if he actually has any intention of marrying you. Beyond that, what happens next is up to you. You can choose to stay in the relationship and just tell him that you are open to another proposal, but not until he's ready to follow through with an actual wedding. You can put a deadline on it if you want. You have X months to figure this out. And if you're still not sure about making this commitment by then we're done. Or you could just end it now. I don't think there is a right or wrong choice here. Do what your gut tells you to do. Emo. Your boyfriend is being an absolute ass. And if I were in your shoes, I'd be super pissed off at him. And very inclined to kick him to the curb, but that's just me. You are not being overly critical or harsh. I don't think he wants marriage as he thought he did. He proposed to you and now basically has taken it back. Op. I'm so sorry, that sucks so much. Getting a marriage proposal is one of those moments we wait our whole lives for. Especially women. We daydream about it and imagine our wedding. And now he basically is acting as if you're pressuring about a proposal he initiated. This would be a relationship game changer for me. It's exceptionally cruel to do this to someone. Do you want to grow old with someone who does this? What if he says he wants to have kids and the moment you get pregnant he says he changes his mind? He clearly doesn't regard other people's feelings or think through big life decisions before doing them. Was he drunk? Something tells me he was drunk, and now that he's sober, he's regretting it. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.